Colts versus the Ravens. Do you think the Ravens redeemed themselves after losing to the Steelers, or it was just a regular game? You're not impressed by the Ravens, and the Colts are who you thought they were?
I'm not impressed. I feel like the Ravens did what they were supposed to do, beat a team that they can beat. The defense showed up when they needed to show up. Their problems still are glaring. Lamar Jackson needs to be a pocket presence in order for them to be Super Bowl contenders. And in order for him, he needs to do that so they can beat the top two teams that they can't beat right now. Now that the Steelers and the Chiefs, I feel like they can beat any other team with Lamar being Lamar. They can beat the Colts. They can beat the Browns. They can beat the Bills. They can beat Miami. I think they can beat those teams without Lamar being a true pocket presence. I think for him, he has to take that leap over the top for them to really be a threat to the Chiefs and Steelers. So I look at this as a regular win.
This wasn't an impressive win, and I'm willing to go out on a limb and say that if the Colts were to face the Ravens again, they'd beat them. T.Y. Hilton wasn't playing. Let's just get that out there right now. He wasn't playing. The number one receiver.
I feel like he'll get neutralized.
Michael Pittman had a pretty solid game, 56 yards, I think 4 receptions or 6 receptions. And the Colts should have won this game. Let's just be honest. The Colts should have won this game. In the first quarter, I'm pretty sure it was the first quarter, Jonathan Taylor, he fumbles. The fumble gets picked up by Chuck Clark. He goes all the way and scores a touchdown. Without that touchdown, it's 17-10. Because the final score was what? What was the final score? 24-10?
Wait.
It was 24-10?
So you're saying they should have won because they fumbled and the Ravens got the ball.
You can't play that hypothetical.
No, I'm just saying the final score was 24-10. I don't feel like they should have fumbled it in that situation. That's just me, right? And then Phillip Rivers throws a pass that should have been incomplete, but it was an interception from Marcus Peters.
That was a bad call.
That was the most bogus call I've seen all year and maybe in the last 5 years.
That's the one you
That was a bogus call, and the Ravens scored on that possession when they got the ball. That was one of the most bogus calls I've ever seen, and that was a killer for the Colts. After the Ravens got that, Colts morale went totally down.
I will agree with you. That call was terrible. Even with that call, I don't think the Colts win the game. One of the best parts of the win, in my opinion, for the Ravens, Lamar Jackson was 0-6 in his career when trailing at halftime. That was his first win since in his entire career, trailing at halftime. They were missing 2 of their starting offensive linemen. They didn't have Marlon Humphrey, their best corner. And their run defense is one of, if not the best in the league, and they get great pressure on the quarterback. Their defense is the backbone, and like we said, I believe 2 episodes ago, it's not about Lamar Jackson carrying them because he's not Russell Wilson to this team. They have the opposite effect. That defense is strong and will carry them, and Lamar Jackson just has to be good enough to put them over the top. So if he can do things like he did on Sunday, bringing them from behind, it's not a great competition, but it's a good stepping stone for them to build on.
I don't like your disrespect towards the Colts. The Colts are a good team.
They are, but the Ravens are above and beyond.
And they're not above and beyond. They came back against the Steelers, too. And even though they lost that game, they fought their way back in that.
Jack.
So I think it's good signs that Lamar Jackson is showing he can come from behind, because that's been the biggest knock on him for a season and a half now is they get up early and they depend on the running game, they chew the clock, and they win on time of possession, which I agree with. But if he can do what he did this week and even the comeback that he showed last week against the Steelers, it's a very good sign for them. And if he can do that consistently and a little better, they're a Super Bowl contender.
Lamar can't come from behind. The Colts lost this game. The Ravens didn't win it. As cliche as that statement sounds, it's the truth. The Colts were up 7-0 when Jonathan Taylor fumbled.
You keep talking about this 7-0.
No, I'm saying
a big gap.
Jonathan Taylor, when he fumbled, they were going to score on that drive. I believe it with my whole heart. If that score is 10-0 or 14-0, the game is totally different. But because the game is 7-7, it allows Greg Roman and the offense to call different types of plays. I feel like that play changed the complexion of the game, and then the Marcus Peters interception totally changed it.
But let me say this, even with those turnovers, they still need to cash it in, and the Ravens offense did do that.
And I'll be honest, like Jonathan Taylor, I was high on him coming out of college. I thought he was going to be good. He seemed like a steal, but he's slow. He's not elusive. He's very slow. Their best running back right now is Nyheim Hines.
He's
That's
more
the
of
best
a
running
receiving back.
But no, he's a better runner than Jonathan Taylor. I'm telling you right now.
I disagree. He's a rookie. Give him time.
Nah,
he was never supposed to
running
be this
backs.
speed
Running
back.
backs figure out like this. They're not like the quarterback.
Even at Wisconsin,
running backs figure out like that.
Even at Wisconsin, though, he was more of a power back than a speed back. He'll figure it out. I think that he just needs time. And this offense altogether is not very strong this season.
When you look at the numbers, like, look, he had 6 rushes for 27 yards, a touchdown. That's like 5 yards a rush. You think that's good. Oh, why didn't he get more carries? Because he fumbled. Because when you see him, when I see him, I don't see something special. I don't see a good running back. I just don't. And maybe you'll prove me wrong, but I doubt it. I think if Marlon Mack was healthy, he'd be their lead back. And right now, Nyheim Hines has shown that he's a better runner and receiver. And Jordan Wilkins, as much as I don't like him as a running back, he's looked better than Jonathan Taylor too.
He's a rookie. He's a rookie.
I would
running
not give
backs
up on
as
him
rookies are different.
Okay, but it's like he's still a rookie. Like, you got to give him some time.
And
to
no piece of that offense has looked good this entire season.
Look at
Phillip
this.
Rivers has been up and down. The receivers haven't been healthy all season long. The line has had some trouble.
The Colts had 11 tackles for loss. They had 2 sacks. They were defending Lamar Jackson in that run game perfectly.
Absolutely.
The Ravens had 0 sacks and 2.5 tackles for loss.
How many turnovers?
Turnovers, I think the Ravens had a turnover. Darius Leonard had a forced fumble.
The defense is what turned the game around for the Ravens, which is what I've been saying. The defense is going to be the key cog for them to make a Super Bowl run.
I'll give Lamar Jackson some leeway, though. I don't know if you guys were watching the game, but Matt Skura, his snaps at center were horrible.
Yeah, they're having a lot of problems with that offensive line too, since the injury last week, and they were missing 2 of their starting offensive linemen this week. So I'll cut them some slack. And I think they're showing good signs. They just need to build on a victory like this, come from behind, and a comeback last week that they built up.
Job well done,
yeah,
Baltimore.
It's good stepping stones. They did what they had to do. It wasn't a perfect win. It wasn't a great win, but it was a good, grinded-out win. And in the NFL, sometimes you just have to do that. Ask the Steelers. They've done it 8 weeks now, seems like.
They just struggled to beat
the Cowboys.
Yeah,
but they grinded it out. It wasn't a great win, but
they
just need a receiver. The Ravens need a receiver.
Yeah.
Hopefully, people think it's Dez.
You saw Lamar's post game. He's apologizing for not getting Marquise Brown in the offense.
I mean, Marquise Brown.
I'm sorry. Why did I call him that? Hollywood Brown.
His name is Marquise though, but
Hollywood.
There was a play I think I remember seeing where he caught the ball, but he failed to get his feet in bounds. Like Marquise Brown is his own guy. That he's an okay receiver. He's a good speedster, but he's not a great receiver.
Yeah, and I don't think Dez is going to be that guy either. They need to either find somebody, whether it's a trade, a free agent, the upcoming draft, which is going to be tough because they're not going to have a great pick, but they need to find somebody.
AB would be really good for them.
Hey, what's up, guys? You just finished watching a clip of the Pick a Side podcast. My name is Joel Moran.
My name is Jack Barteck.
And my name is River Brown.
And we are your hosts for this podcast. We want to thank you guys for watching the clip. Like, subscribe, and comment, and share if you would care to, because it helps us grow. We're trying to make this a full-time thing. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for supporting, and see you next time.